My name's Katrina Slewis and I'm Adjunct Curator of Research at the Photographers Gallery in London and an Associate Professor at the Australian National University. Alan Warburton is an artist who investigates how we apprehend, consume and create images or entire realities in the 21st century. And having had first-hand experience working in the computer graphics industries, he's really well placed to be our guide as we begin to explore how this image culture is mutating and changing. One of the things he really wants to do in his work is to uncover the overlooked histories and secrets of what we might call the image factory, which manufactures simulations and visual fantasies to feed the cultural industries. In recent years, Alan has turned to the video essay as a format, and his show at Arbeit Gallery continues in this tradition. And this allows Alan to make a really important critical move from not just producing images, but using critical commentary to explode them, to unpack them, and open them up to interrogation and questioning. And in this respect, I like to imagine Alan as a kind of visual effects magician who can bend the light of the CGI torch to shine it back on itself. And if you think about it, this is not an easy task. Primarily because the kind of pornographic lusciousness of the computer-generated image really celebrates and intensifies the visual. And in the process, it makes the operations that animate the image on screen inaccessible or unknowable. And in a way, this kind of photographic, computer-generated representation conceals the actual computational underpinnings of the image. So this exhibition is an attempt to help us step behind the screen and into the ways the image is manufactured, stockpiled, accelerated, and intensified. And rather than focus on the now ubiquitous photographic image in social media platforms, he focuses on a slightly different area of visual culture, those images that are entirely synthetic and simulated. And this is what he calls the cumbersome CGI image. And I think that's a great term because it kind of breaks away this idea of this seamless, smooth, perfect image, and that it's bulky, it's creaky, it relies on a lot of different technologies, it's weighty, it takes up space, it's extremely time consuming to work with. And so RGB FAQ takes us through the eye of the computational needle to reveal this hall of broken mirrors, these hacks and workarounds which inform the practice of CGI artists. And through this journey, we begin to understand how the image has been exploded and the boundaries between 2 and 3D, real and synthetic, are beginning to collapse. And there's this lovely section on how we might begin to think about the ways in which the photographic is mobilized in this kind of CGI space through the adoption of photographic data sets, creating this kind of infinite feedback loop, which produces this kind of crazy collapse between what we might have previously thought as an indexical relationship to the world and a synthetic or constructed image of the world. And what's really interesting about this show is this collapse also extends to the way he's approached the installation of the show in the gallery space, because the audience, when you step inside, you become metaphorically and physically immersed in this black box of the image. And using projection mapping, it's not clear whether what is 2D or 3D space as he kind of merges sculptural and pixel elements in the show. And this seems really fitting. Concluding question, he wants to know or ask, are we situated outside the spatial coordinates of the image as observers? Or does this collapse of time, the real, the synthetic, mean that there's no longer possibility of being an outside observer, that we are literally inside the black box?